Hello everyone, I am Deepak Unyal and I welcome you to the series of C++ tutorials. In the previous tutorial, we discussed the simple C++ program along with its basic concept like namespace, IOStream and main function. In this tutorial, we are going to write a C++ program that will employ the basic concept of object-oriented programming. In previous tutorial, we have seen a common feature in all the programs we developed that every statement was written inside main function. But from this lecture onward, you will typically see or develop the programs that will consist of a main function and one or more classes. And each of the class will contain some data members and some member functions. If you work in a software development team, you might use hundreds or even thousands of classes in some software systems. Now we will present a carefully paced sequence of complete working programs to demonstrate and creating your own classes. So let us begin with an example that consists of a class gradebook, which when it's fully developed will represent a gradebook that an instructor can use to maintain student test score. And there will be a main function that will create a gradebook object. You can refer this book. I have already told in my previous lecture, but still you can note down it again. If you want to follow the same examples and similar details, please follow this book. So now let us create first C++ program using object oriented approach. And in this approach, main function uses object and its member function to display a message. So the program will be like this. Let us first write it completely and then I will discuss the details. I will write main function here so that it's visible. Okay, so now we have written the program completely and I will be discussing it with you. So you can see we are writing a class definition here and it always ends with the semicolon. If you don't write this semicolon, that will become an error. So you can see this class starts with the keyword class where this whole thing is in small letters and it is followed by a class name which generally starts with capital letter and subsequent words are capital. This is also called Pascal case and it's good for readability, so you should follow this convention. Next thing, here we have a function display message and this function displays a message, welcome to the gradebook, right? As you can see here we have two functions, one is display message and another is main function. And we have seen previously that main function is automatically called, but most of the function do not get called automatically, so we must call them before they perform their task. So in this program you can see that we are calling this display function from inside main function, and before that you can see we have written gb dot. So this dot is a dot operator and gb is an object of gradebook. So whenever you want to call some function, you have to create an object of that class and then call the related function. But here one important thing to note down is, before a main function can create an object, we must tell compiler what member function or data member belong to the class, and that's why we have defined the class before main function, right? So let us understand it diagrammatically. If you have a class like this, gradebook. So there are some data members and member function defined with it. You can create multiple objects of a class, so it could be gb1, gb2, gb3 and so on up to gbn, right? And all these objects will have their own data members. So if you are making a change in a data member, the change will be effective in only that object, right? But there will be only one copy of the functions. So anytime you want to call the function on GB1, you have to call same copy. If you want to call on GB2, GB3 or GBN, you have to call the same copy of the functions. But data members will be different. You can see it like this, like we have GB1, it's one object, and GB2, second object. As of now, what will we do? We'll take example of these two objects only. So we have a function display. Let me check what was the name, display message. So this is the only function, right? So just do one thing, assign some data members also, as we don't have any data members. So create one data member int a, and similar data member will be inside GB2 also. So if this object is making changes in GB1 and it is assigning value like 5 to the variable a, so this value will be effective or seen in GB1 only. This value will be either default value, or if any other value you have assigned, then that will be assigned to this a. So if you assign 10 to this value, it will be 10 and this will be a equal to 5. But if you want to make any changes, or if you want to display these values, both of these values, you need to call same function using both the objects, right? So I think it is clear to you. So whenever we are calling this function or any other function inside a class, we need to call it explicitly using the object of a class, right? And then we will be telling it to perform its own task, right? So I think this is enough for this lecture. We will be discussing this program in more detail in next lecture. I hope you will like my tutorial and it will be helpful for you. If you like it, please like the video, share it with your friends and post your doubts on the videos. Thank you so much.